So there are those seats out of that canoe that I had donated to the Scouts. I haven't gotten around to that yet. What I'm going to do is basically measure the long side here and then cut a bunch of this cedar tongue and groove that's a little bit longer, just, you know, half an inch longer. Glue them all together till I cover this distance, let that all harden up, and then trace this onto it and cut it out, basically, is what I'm going to do to make new seats for it. So let's get to that. Alright, so this guy is about 26.5 inches. I figure if I go 27, cut a bunch of 27, I'm going to be pretty good. By the looks of it, I'm going to need like 3 or 4 pieces. Maybe we'll check that too. So that is just about 9 inches. This guy is just shy of 3 inches, so I'm either going to need 3 or 4 pieces cut of that length in order to make that seat. I just changed my mind. I'm going to do the small one. That was the big one. The reason is that I've got this one piece of cedar. It's about 70 inches. The small one here is 19. So I'll get 3 pieces out of that. This one short piece of cedar should be enough to do the small seat. And then I've got one last piece tucked right into that little corner there by my canoe rack. It's like a 12-foot length of this. So it's just going to give me better utilization of the scrap that I have on hand here. So we'll do the small one first. Alright, so we got it marked off. That was 19 inch, so I marked it at 20, 40, 60. Just going to whack those and glue the 3 together. Well, the one little piece left over is long enough to do my cross piece to secure them together. And I think given this is only this short, I'm just going to do one. So I'll whack it right about there. And I'll use that to glue it all together. Now, since this is going in a canoe, it's going to be in water, I'm using a really high quality wood glue that's supposed to be, they call it waterproof. From what I've read online, it's pretty darn close to waterproof once it dries, so that should do well. Alright, I put this really heavy concrete block on there to keep them from buckling. If you pull tight on the clamps, the whole thing will buckle and it's never going to do anything. So basically I do that on both sides. I got some glue leaking that I'm going to have to deal with, and if I'm not careful it'll leak out the bottom and glue me to the tabletop here. So that's where it sits now. Basically I can let it harden there. What I really should do is get that guy screwed into place, but the brick is in the way right now. Well, that problem is easily solved. I just tip the brick up on its edge. Now I'm going to get some glue onto this guy and screw it down. It's roughly in the middle. I don't care too much if it's exactly in the middle. It'll be good enough for me. Alright, so I've pre-drilled my holes. Glue it and screw it now. Alright, it's all screwed in. We will see if we can lift the brick and have this thing all hold together without buckling. It should be fine now, even though it's not, it's only a couple of minutes later. Well, it lines up pretty good. I might trim off that tongue with my jigsaw, and I'm just going to mark it on both edges here where to trim it off with the jigsaw. And we should be good to go with this seat. I might drill a couple holes in it to make it lighter and to let water drain through. I'm not sure yet, but we will see. Alright, remember this? This guy, the rear seat, has to have one of these rivets replaced. Otherwise it's okay. I've got to get that rivet out of there. That should be easy with my Dremel, but just checking for size, and that looks like it's going to be perfect. Your legs will be up against here. I think I'll just leave that just like it is. And that's going to be a perfect canoe seat. Awesome. So same basic thing for the front seat, except it's broad enough that I'm going to put 2 of the cross pieces on it, just like that. And basically otherwise exactly the same as the back seat. Alright, front seat is close. It's good here. Over here there's a gap and it's not forward enough, which means I've just got to make that angle a little bit differently and take a little bit more off up here, and that should slide it right into place. Well, it's not perfect, but that did the trick. So there, I've got 2 seats now, but before I can put this one in, this is the one that needs to have, yeah, this is the one that I got to pull that rivet and fiberglass that, re-drill it, and then re-rivet it before I can do the front seat here.